The real problem is white supremacists in America. They're the real monsters. You took issue with that. Why did you take issue with that statement?
Well, actually, I'm not sure I have any particular... Well, here's the thing. My QC in that case, Julian Porter, also the Prime Minister's QC, he took the position...
Could we just stick to Mr. Cuomo's?
I'm answering your question. He took the principled position that we had nothing to defend under Canadian law. I am not here, sir, to justify to you words I have used on TV in the United States, radio in Australia. And I do not intend to do it. The words I chose are the words I chose, and you are free to interpret them as you so wish.
Question. Why did you condemn
No,
Mr. Cuomo?
you're doing what is the most, perhaps the most repugnant aspect of this. No, you're doing what is the most repulsive aspect of this committee, which is you're trying to force people to deny certain things they said 5, 10, 15 years ago.
I'm asking questions. That's my job here.
As if there is only one correct position on Islam, on immigration, on climate change, on transgender bathrooms, on same-sex marriage. We cannot keep going on saying this is the correct line, and if you don't, and you're not willing to sign on to that, you're a hater.
That I completely agree with Mr. Garrison. Well, this isn't an abstract exercise. I'm just asking you simple questions.
I'll tell you something with respect to that too. I'm not going to bandy death threats with Mr. Garrison. I take it he's had them. I appeared on stage at the Danish Parliament. I had to be protected by Danish secret police, security service, the Secret Service. The British Foreign Office and the United States Department of State said it was not safe for British nationals or US citizens to go near that event. When I appeared there 5 years before, I was on stage with four other people, one of whom had her restaurant firebombed, the other of whom had his event shut up. No, I'm telling you that there are all kinds of people who get death threats, and if the alternative is surrendering our liberty over death threats, to hell with that, sir.
Thank you. The time is elapsed. I want to thank all of our witnesses today. One of the important parts of discourse is that we try to do so reasonably, even if we strongly disagree, and hopefully we continue to do that. I really appreciate very much all of you being here today. We have an in-camera meeting that comes up to discuss a report. Sorry, Mr. Barrett, did you have something before we do that?
Yes, Mr. Chair. Just for consistency's sake, if there are any other meetings today that were televised at your prerogative, I'd move a motion that we don't televise the rest of our proceedings for today and have them broadcast in audio only, just on the same basis of consistency that I supported the previous motion.
So that would be related to the Google meeting this afternoon.
Right.
So that's a non-debatable, non-amendable motion. Sorry, witnesses, I will thank you in a second. It's a non-debatable, non-amendable motion to not televise the meeting this afternoon with the representatives of Google.
Is it scheduled to be televised?
Yes.
As was this.
Yes. Yeah.
But just for consistency, that was done at the chair's prerogative. So.
Yeah. Okay. So you want a recorded vote? So we will have a recorded vote. So if you vote yes, you're voting not to televise the Google meeting. If you vote no, you're voting to televise it. Again, we will start with a roll call. So I'll turn to the clerk, Monsieur Le Greffier.
Monsieur Boissonnault?
Agreed.
Mr. Ehassi?
Agreed.
Mr. Fraser? Yes. Mr. Erskine-Smith?
Not here.
Mr. McKinnon?
Yes.
Mr. Barrett?
Yes.
Monsieur Brassard?
Yes.
Mr. McKenzie?
Yes.
And Mr. Garrison?
No.
Okay, so in favor 7 and against 1.
So the motion carried, and we will not televise the meeting with Google. So again, I want to thank the witnesses. We will now take a short break, clear the room, and we will reconvene in about 5 minutes, committee members.